2021. Happy Father's Day, all fathers and sons and grandfathers out there. Not sons, I guess. Just fathers. Anyway, today on the Daily Review, we review 1963 Sidney Poitier classic Lilies of the Field with your host, me, Joe LaRocca. Adjusting the mic noises. Okay. Oh boy, here we go. Directed by Ralph Nelson. Probably should have done this yesterday for Juneteenth, but I didn't watch it in time. Anyway, this is one of the movies that Gotham gave me to watch. From his collection, we exchanged a bunch of movies that we thought one another should see. I think the first one was that I've reviewed was Ordinary People. I got them in a pile up there. That's what I was looking at. And so I eventually got to this. And what a simple, beautiful story. It is about a traveling handyman, Sidney Poitier, Homer Smith, classic cinema name. And he's driving along, and his car needs some water. He's, I don't know why I said that like a Boston guy, even though it's like clearly the South or like Texas or something like that. I'm not sure where it is. He stops at a nunnery, or basically this house with a bunch of German nuns in it, to get water from the well so that his car is overheating, you know? And they're like, oh, just what God answered our prayer and sent us a big, strong man. And he's like, uh-oh. He's a polite man, and he's like, what, you need work done? And they're like, yes, we need the roof fixed. And he's like, all right, here's my day rate. I'll do it. And he goes up, fixes the roof, comes down, goes, all right, I'm going to take off. This is what you owe me. And they go, you should stay for dinner. And he goes, all right. And he eats dinner, and then they're like, you should spend the night. It's too far. And he's like, all right. And you start seeing what's happening. He's slowly getting cajoled into building a chapelle, a chapel for these ladies. And he kind of gets suckered in. So it starts off, man, it's so beautiful, though. It's so simplistic. I mean that in the best way. Like, there's no extra bullshit. It's just this story straight through. It's like a parable from the New Testament or something, you know? And so it's the main lady. The main lady. There's like the head nun, mom, is played by Lilia Scala. And she's very good. And then there's 4 other ladies, and they don't speak English very well. They're all from Germany or Austria or Hungary or Austria-Hungary, and depending on the time period. And they live very close to the earth. You know, they just eat bread and potatoes and milk, and that's all they have, really, an egg. And the goal is to build a farm and, you know, raise up a whole community, and they've been praying for it, and maybe Homer is the answer. Who knows? There's a great scene, though. Like, the scenes all, like, play out nice and slowly and develop. There's a great scene where he starts teaching all of them English at the dinner table after they finish eating, and he's... Oh, it's so wonderful. You're just like, you're watching, like, that's a classic film scene. I've only seen it for the first time, but I can tell it's classic. But he's teaching them, you know, the record, he has a vinyl record. The record is black. The stove is black. I am black. You are white. It is great. It's so good. And it's so good. I can't stress how nice it is. It's just a sweet, wonderful movie. So the second act is him being like, all right, you don't think I can do it? They use kind of like reverse psychology, and everybody, especially a contractor in town who has like big equipment, you know, and he's a white guy who's like, are you a contractor? And he's like, who's to say I'm not? You know, so it's like, just because he's being challenged, he's like, all right, I'm going to do it. And then he gets into it, you know, and he wants to do it himself. He wants it to be his thing. And the third act, kind of, the whole community kind of joins in, and it ends up being too many cooks, and he gets kind of pushed to the side. and he has to rally back for his place as boss. But really, the movie is about like taking pride in one's work and religion and communication and goodwill and racial equality, and like how if every like acts of kindness can purify you. That's like kind of the message. It's like you should just do good, even if you don't believe in God. You're better off. It's just insurance to do good, and it's just it clearly benefits everybody because this town has nothing. Like they have church out of the back of a car, and so like that's the reason they want to build the chapel. And then that like they're like, and now we're gonna build a school and a church, and you're just like, I mean, and a hospital, and you're like, all right, oh, this is kind of like how towns start. You know, you're just like, oh, this is like the foundation of community, and it makes you realize something. Because I'm not a huge fan of religion, you know, and it goes, oh yeah, like religion is like crazy important, especially like 1,000 years ago. Maybe not so much now, but I mean, people will totally disagree with me there. But you know, the communal. You know, how it teaches, you know, and how they communicate with one another is so great. Like they do it through universal things when they can't speak, like through Bible passages, and then through music and through food and stuff. And you're just like, oh, this is so good. This is like all about culture and like how human beings interact and what society is. There's also a nice little stream of sexual repression going through there, you know, with, you know, you got these repressed nuns, and then the kind of virility of a large man, not necessarily that he's a black man, but just the fact that he's a large, handsome, powerful man, I think adds like a sexual repression there, because he's also very free. He just like lives out of the back of his car, and he works when he want to work, and he's got, you know, he's just having an adventure, like Homer himself, his own little odyssey. I wrote, very religious film. Maybe the most Catholic film I've ever seen that doesn't have Jesus in it. That I'm fine with. Like, it's never didactic, and all the kind of high-minded things I'm talking about are never really, nobody really fully talks about them. I mean, maybe there's like one or two parts with this guy, Juan, at the end, who's like, he says a few things where you're like, all right, that's a little on the nose, but it's earned. You know, it's at the end of the movie, and it makes sense. And you're like, yes, this is totally a rare world view. Yeah, do good, even if it doesn't necessarily benefit you, because it will benefit the whole, which will end up benefiting you. You know, if your community has a school, then your kids are going to get a better education or have to not travel as far, and that'll increase your property value, and your kids will do better, and then maybe they'll get better jobs, and that'll bring more money into the family as a whole. And then when you become old, they'll be able to take care, you know, all like there's all these things why it's just best to be selfless most of the time. And it's a beautiful movie, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, did Sidney Poitier win an Academy Award for this movie? I think this might be the one he won for. Let me just look at the box. It's the same cover. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, Oscar. Nominated for 5 Oscars, including Best Picture, and winner of, Best Oscar. Best Oscar? Best Actor Oscar, Sidney Poitier. He did win. Good for him. Anyway, it's awesome. The cinematographer is the same, is Ernest Haller, who did some of Gone with the Wind and Mildred Pierce. That's interesting. Screenplay by James Poe, based on a novel by William E. Barrett. Goldsmith, Jerry Goldsmith did the music. Okay, I'm done reading the back of the box to you guys. Anyway, I mean, it's good. It's good. It's the big Sidney Poitier movie I hadn't seen. And, you know, as a film historian, holy crap, he's a knight commander of the Order of the British Empire? What does that mean? Is it's sir? Should I have been saying sir? Or is it like that BBS or what are the other things? Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, he totally deserves it. He is so such a classy performer and really important in the history of the United States for people of color to see a leading man on screen. I mean, that's what I've read, and I understand it. But it's there's always just white people on screen, so it's never been a thing for me. But one of the best things is at the very end of the movie, and this is when I went, wow, that's crazy Catholic. At the very end, instead of saying the end, it says amen. And I went, whoa. These guys fucking love Jesus. It's good, though. I really like it. It's one of the few, like, incredibly religious movies that's, like, straight down the middle that I really, really like it. It doesn't feel like it's talking down to you. It, like, proves its point about the importance of religion through actions. And you go, huh, damn. Damn. Double damn. All right, let's see what's going on music-wise here. Sorry. Sounds ominous. Why is the camera not coming up anymore? We gotta fix that. Not working today. It's because it's a laptop. Yeah, that's a great point, Tim. Most religious movies are, like, insanely brutal. Like, those movies that for some reason are, like, #1 sellers on Amazon. And it'll be like a boy being like, heaven is real. And you're like, oh my God, shoot me in the face. Anyway, and I'm halfway through Luca, the new Pixar movie, so I'll probably do that tomorrow if you guys want to be on pace with me, because little Rosie watched it, so I'm going to see her today, so I wanted to watch it and be able to talk to her about it. Anyway, it's good so far.